Instead of getting upset when things don't go your way, why don't you believe that God knows what He's doing? Instead of complaining, God, why is this happening to me? No, God, I know you have me in the palm of your hand. God, I know you're directing my steps. I may not understand it, but God, I trust you. This is what Joseph did. As a teenager, God gave him a dream that he would lead a nation. But along the way, one bad thing after another happened to him. He was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused, put in prison. He went through years of doing the right thing with the wrong thing happening. Didn't look like it would ever work out. But Joseph understood this principle, that as long as he kept being his best, that trouble could not stop him. It was moving him toward his destiny. When you study his life, you'll see how God connected the dots. Every step was strategically orchestrated. If you left one out, the other wouldn't work. If his brothers hadn't have thrown him into the pit, he would have never been sold into slavery to a man named Potiphar. If he hadn't been sold to Potiphar, he would have never met Potiphar's wife, who falsely accused him and had him put in prison. If he hadn't been in prison, he would have never met the butler and the baker and told them how he could interpret dreams. If he'd have never told them that, the Pharaoh would have never called him up to interpret his dream and eventually put him in charge of the nation of Egypt. All those steps along the way, if you isolate them, just looks like a bad break. It doesn't make sense. But you have to believe, like Joseph, what looks like a disappointment, a betrayal, a setback is all a part of God's plan. It's transportation. It's moving you little by little into your destiny. God knows what He's doing. God knew He would need someone in leadership in Egypt to show favor to the Israelites. So years earlier, He started the plan of putting Joseph in place. It looked like trouble. Really, it was the hand of God. Joseph's brothers took his coat of many colors. They took his coat of favor, but they could not take the calling on his life. What people take from you cannot stop your purpose. What's on the inside is more powerful than anything on the outside. You keep doing the right thing despite the problem, despite the trouble, despite the betrayal, and one day you'll see, like Joseph, God will begin to connect the dots. God will take you to your throne, so to speak. You'll say like he did, they meant it for my harm, but God used the trouble for my good.